Welcome all my dear students to final revision for Eng101 course. With you is Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim. Today we will cover the 5 writing topics for the 5 units, as well as shedding a light on some items of grammar and vocabulary. Now let's go on. As you see, we have 5 writing topics. For Unit 1 is discussion essay. For Unit 2 is a story about misunderstanding. For Unit 3 is a movie review. For Unit 4, describing a line graph. And the last one, writing a brochure. Now let's go for the first one, which is discussion essay. In fact, discussion essay is similar to the one you have learned before in the intermediate stage, which was called pros and cons. The same items, the same idea. You have to present a topic from 2 points of view, from 2 sides. One side is in favor of, and one side is opposing. So in this way we can, the new essay is called today for this year's curriculum is discussion essay. So as you see, we have from the layout we have 4 paragraphs. Paragraph number 1, introduction. The second one is positive, or what we call it advantages, and the third one is negative, and the last one is conclusion. What should you write in each paragraph? For the intro, you have to get the reader's attention or interest by using many ways. For example, you can start your essay by a question or a rhetorical question. Number 2, you have to provide background information about showing a state of disagreement among people around a thesis. What's a thesis is the topic you are discussing. Then you have to discuss or mention or indicate the thesis statement in the introduction. We come to the second part or second paragraph, which is positives. You have to present or show the good points or advantages or positive sides or points of the topic. You can start by, on the one hand, you can start by positive impact of the topic as regarded by the first team or group. Also, you enhance the first team's opinion by giving supporting ideas, by giving some reasons, some arguments, argument 1, 2, or 3, as you like. And also, you can enrich your arguments with examples, facts, and explanations. Then we come to the third paragraph, which is the negative sides or negative points or disadvantages. On the other hand, you present also the contrasting point of view by showing the negative impact as regarded by the second team. Also, you boost or reinforce the second team's opinion by giving supporting ideas as well through arguments, many arguments or many reasons, 1, 2, or 3, as you like. In the last part, which is conclusion, you have to paraphrase or summarize the 2 viewpoints, then state your own opinion at the end of the essay. You can also use some linkers or transition words like first, thus, therefore, moreover, in addition, finally, and so on. Here you have the layout of your essay. Now, I can give you now a model of some examples of styles. You can select among them whatever you want, or you can write your own words, your own styles. It's up to you. I can start the introduction like that. In many parts of the world, it's becoming more common that this is an important area of discussion. Some people go for the merits of the issue while others take different view. This essay discusses the positive and the negative impact. I think it's important to discover both sides in depth or details. Then we go to the second paragraph, which is positives. We agree that we have two teams. One is for, standing for or supporting the idea, and the other team is standing against or opposing the idea. So it's preferable to use on the one hand for positive and on the other hand for the negatives. So we can complete here. On the one hand, or you can use one of the advantages is or of. Here I put the topic or the subject or the thesis, is so and so. Then there are several positive impacts or in favor of. Those who are in favor say or state, claim. Then you can give your arguments. In addition, besides, what's more, moreover, you can add more arguments as you like. Then we come to the third paragraph, which is the negative. By the way, you can exchange. You can start by the negatives, then comes the positive. It's up to you. I prefer myself to start by the positive side, the bright side or the advantages. Then I can complete or add the disadvantages, the negative side. So on the other hand, one of the disadvantages is so and so. However, there are also negative impacts. You can add whatever you want about the topic. They claim or say, think and mention your first argument. Again, I remind you to enrich your arguments with facts, explanations, examples. You have to enrich your essay. Okay? In addition or besides, what's more, moreover, and so on. The final paragraph, which is conclusion, I can write like that. In conclusion, or I can replace it, you can say to conclude or to sum up, as you like. The key point surely is that, and I add whatever I want. You can write a diplomatic ending or conclusion as the one mentioned in the textbook, in the example in the textbook, that we will explain now. To put it on balance, it's clear that the positive impacts outweigh or exceed the negative ones. If you see the positive are more and more effective than the negative, so you are standing for or supporting the idea. If you are if you see the negative ones are exceeding and more, you can in this way or in this time you are standing against the idea. Then don't forget to mention your own opinion. Therefore, you have to mention your own opinion at the end of the essay, as mentioned here and or as shown here. Again and again, I remind you to state your own opinion at the end of the essay in the conclusion here. I mean by opinion, to mention, to state or clarify which team you are. In which team you are. Are you standing for or against? Okay? Now, let's go on to the model of the book, Community Connections in the Digital Age. Here, The essay discusses the impact of technology or digital age on our community connections. The essay starts here by a rhetorical question or a question like that. How has the internet affected our communities? Okay, and then he explained this issue has been hotly debated or discussed or argued for many years and so on. And he had also what he had done here, he clarifies that there are two teams. While some argue that the internet has created a sense of disconnection among people, others, so we have two teams here, so you have to follow the procedures to create a state of disagreement among two teams of people in the introduction, I mean. Then you can at the end of the first part the introduction, you have to explain that or clarify that. You have to explain the 2 points of view in depth or in details. Then the essay here starts by the negative points, after then the positive points. It's up to you. And now, in conclusion, the essay here ended up his the topic with what? With a diplomatic ending like this. So here it's evident that the internet has both positive and negative impacts on our community. Therefore, it's important to balance online and offline interactions to fully benefit from the digital world. Here, you can do the same if you like. You can end up your essay with a diplomatic ending. You are in between the two teams. You are not standing with one team against the other or so. No, you are in between. You are neutral. So you can say like that. It's a very good ending and diplomatic as well to end up and finalize your essay in a good way. Now let's go to Unit 2, Misunderstanding Story. As you see here, you have to build up your story like any story. You have to build up your setting. I mean by setting, the time, the date, the place, the people you met for first, and so on. You have to pave the way to your story to follow, for your instance to follow. In this way, who had the misunderstanding? You have to ask yourself many questions before you start your story. Number one, who had the misunderstanding? With who? You are such types of stories, I mean misunderstanding story, may happen with, it's supposed to happen in a place overseas or abroad with people who have different cultures, so you have to meet some people, and may happen or may fall in funny experiences like that. And where did it happen? You have to mention the city or the country, let me say. And what were you doing when it happened? Then what was the misunderstanding about? Maybe about body language or vocabulary, maybe tone of voice or something else. Then we come to the main events of the story. Here is the development or developing of the story. And finally, we come to the resolution, how the story ended, how did the story end, and the final part and the most important part in our story is the lesson you have learned from this experience. The lesson you have to learn, or you had to learn something, okay, that you know, changed your experience, you know, from this good experience or funny experience in this way. Now we can go forward to a model of such kind of stories, the importance of understanding body language. First of all, as you see, our story is composed of 3 paragraphs. The beginning of the story, setting, and challenge also. You have to mention a challenge or a dilemma, okay, you have fallen in. Then, after that, the development of the story, how the story proceeded, and your feelings and reactions towards the events or the situation you had. Then you have to finalize your story by the ending of the story with a lesson you learned from it. Let's go forward and read the details of our story today. Now, I had a space experience during my trip to a small town in Japan. So, I want someone to, yes, well done to you, good job. Unforgettable story or unforgettable experience during my trip to a small town in Japan. This is a very nice hook. I can start my story to attract or draw the attention of the readers. I had an unforgettable experience during my trip to a small town in Japan. Then I go forward to my story. One day I gave a presentation to a group of students in Japan. I started my presentation at 6 p.m. at Tokyo University. The only what was that I didn't speak Japanese. The only what? Yes, of course, the only problem. Well done. I didn't speak Japanese and my lecture was in English. I faced a communication challenge. So I mentioned what kind of a challenge or problem I had in my story. A communication challenge. Then I go forward. I go deeper to my to the incidents of my story, the development. Here, feeling a bit lost. So I felt perplexed or confused. I tried several times to communicate with them in a discussion, hoping to let them take part in the topic and asking about the point in my lecture. I asked them several times if anyone had any questions, but no one raised their hands. So I sat down thinking that they did not like my presentation maybe. So I started to talk to myself and inquired why they are not interacting with me. I was space just as I was about to give up and leave. Now I have reached to a point of despair or frustration. So I was, yes, that's it. Well done. You can choose here. Well done. Confused. I looked around and noticed that one lady looked closely at the students in the group and asked a certain student if he had any questions. He did. She did the same several times with other students who started asking different questions. Then there is a hope now. Icebreaker here. There's an icebreaker. So there's a chance to deliver my speech, my message to my audience. Now I come to the end of the story. At the space of my presentation. So, of course, at the end, well done. At the end of my presentation, the woman came to me and said, look here, this is the key of my story. Keep in mind keep it in mind for the next lectures. When people from Japan look at you directly in the eye, that often means that they have many questions. Wow, it was a valuable lesson, of course, for me, reminding me of the importance of understanding and interpreting body language even in unfamiliar places. This is a very nice and very easy model of misunderstanding story. I hope you all understood it and do it well in the exam if it comes. Now we come to the next writing topic for Unit 3, which is movie review. Before I start to explain to you movie review, there are many guided points to be followed while writing this kind of topics. Number one, a movie review should be composed of at least 3 paragraphs. Each paragraph starts with a topic sentence which presents the main idea of the paragraph. For each topic sentence, there should be many supporting ideas to develop the topic sentence. These supporting ideas include a variety of details such as facts, examples, or explanations to give more information about each supporting idea. You have to mention your feelings and opinion in your review. Finally, and the most important, never forget to state your recommendation at the end of your review. These are very important points you have to follow while writing movie review, such as or like the model we are going to study now. Look here, if we look at the outline of a model review like that, here we have a title of the movie. Then we have 3 paragraphs, as we said. For each paragraph you have topic sentence followed by supporting ideas and details. The same you write here, the same you mention in the first paragraph, you have to mention in the second one. But for the third paragraph, you have to mention last your recommendations. It's very important to mention at the end of your essay or your review. Now let's go have a look on our model. But before this, we have some items, some vocabulary, some adjectives to use while writing your movie review. Because movie review is basically descriptive composition, descriptive writing. So if you notice, most of your writings or most of your words are mainly or basically adjectives. First, when you describe the movie, you can use 1 or 2 or many of these adjectives. Well shot, thrilling, fascinating, funny or hilarious, breathtaking. When I speak about the end of the movie, it's preferable, of course, to have unexpected, unexpected ending. Why? To keep you attracted till the last minute of the movie. Successful or full of emotions, boring or unrealistic. When I come to choose or to describe the story or the plot of the movie, I can use some of these adjectives like fascinating, unbelievable, predictable, not original, too violent, too tedious, boring, full of tension, thrilling, or entertaining. When I come to the scenes or performances of the actors. I can use some of these: astounding, amazing, awesome, fantastic, impressive, convincing, or unconvincing. You may see that the performance of some characters are unconvincing to you. I mean, it's not a problem. You have to mention, you have to express your opinion. If it's outstanding, you can say exceptional, adds a lot to the film, or appealing. Now let's go on to our model of movie review. In fact, I have made some changes to the model we have in the textbook. We have the same movie, A Quiet Place, because it's really a good movie to talk about. So if you notice here, we have many words in red. These are the main elements of any movie you have to focus on. You have to highlight while your review. Keep in mind that to cover all of these elements, the genre of the movie, I mean the kind of the movie, the story, the performance, the characters, the scenes, the atmosphere, and of course you have to mention your recommendations or recommendation at the end of the review. Let's start, gentlemen. A Quiet Place is a thrilling and suspenseful horror movie or film that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's a very nice and very interesting expression to write like this: keep you on the edge of your seat. It's a reference to how high the movie was interesting, or how much it was interesting. The story is then you have to mention briefly a summary about the story of the movie. The story is about a family struggling to survive in silence in a world where monsters attack if they hear any noise. The performances, particularly by Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, are outstanding and make you emotionally invested in their characters' fight for survival. The film's pacing is tight and the scenes build steadily, leading to heart-pounding moments that leave you breathless. Heart-pounding is an adjective, by the way. Breathless, outstanding. Look here. If you count how many adjectives you will use in your film review, you will find many adjectives. That's why I tell you to focus mainly on the adjectives, how to use them in a correct way. Moreover, the movie excels in creating an intense and hair-raising atmosphere. I mean by atmosphere the mood of the movie. The mood means what do you feel? What do you feel while watching the movie? One of the scariest scenes occurs when the mother must endure pain after she steps on the hidden nail in the stairs. Then I can finalize my review by a recommendation like that. A Quiet Place is a must-see film for anyone who enjoys a tense and gripping cinematic experience. Prepare yourself for a thrilling ride that will leave you wanting more. Of course, you recommend all people to come and watch this movie. Now, I think I have covered all the items or elements of our topic of movie review. Then we go forward to number 4, writing number 4, which is describing a line graph. In fact, a line graph is one of the topics that requires a high wit and a high intelligence of from the students to how to deal with such topic. First of all, you have to be a good observant. You have the ability to classify and analyze the line in front of you in a professional way. Write a report about the chart describing the numbers of tourists who visited Bahrain from 2011 to 2019. At first, I ask you now to look carefully at this line graph. We have two axes. Vertical usually refers to numbers or amounts or proportions, and the horizontal axis refers to maybe years, period of times. Right? Now, as you see, we have 3 paragraphs: the introduction and main trend 1 and the main trend 2. Look here at the rubric of the question, describing what the numbers of tourists who visited Bahrain from 2011 to 2019. Now, what you can do, or what you can start, you start by the introduction. How can I make it up? Look at the question itself, look at the title itself and the subject. You can paraphrase it to make your introduction. Look here. What you do is very simple. You can paraphrase or change the style of this information and present it in other way or in different way. I mean, like this. The graph above presents data on international tourism in Bahrain. The figures in million show the numbers of tourists who visited Bahrain from 2011 to 2019. Look here. What I did now, I changed the style of this rubric to this one. What I do, the graph here above presents, I can exchange it or replace it by shows, demonstrates, illustrates. I can choose whatever I want, any verb I want. Data on international tourism in Bahrain. The figures in figures mean numbers. In millions show the numbers of tourists who visited Bahrain from 2011 to 2019. According to the graph, the international tourism in Bahrain has increased since 2011 to 2019. Now let's go to the second paragraph. We have it's preferable to use passive technique or passive style like this. It's clearly seen from the graph that, look here, it's a passive, because such type of questions of writing tasks are answered in formal style, not informal. So it's apart from saying or writing, I can see so and so and so. No, I tell you no. You can write in a perfect way, in a good way. You can write, it is clearly seen from the graph that. Now look here with me at the line graph. You notice that what you notice from here, from this line graph, here is an increase in the numbers from 2011 to 2014. Then there is a decline or a drop in numbers. In which year? 2015. Then the increase resumed again from 2015 to 2018, but gradually here in this way. It's gradually, not steady like that. Okay, after that the decline happened again in the year 2019, right? So I can classify or separate or divide my line into 3 or 4 phases or periods. This is number 1, the first period from 2011 to 2014, and then in this year a second period, and after 2015 to 2018 there is a third period, and the last, finally, we have a fourth phase or a fourth stage in 2019. In this way we can classify and analyze our line graph in a scientific and professional way. Let's go. It's clearly seen from the graph that international tourism in Bahrain witnessed a steady rise. Look, steady. No one period is less or more than the other. All stages are the same. All years the increase is equal. From 2011, 12, 13 and 14, the increase in figures are similar or is similar, you know. So during this period the number of arriving tourists increased from nearly 7 million to about 10.5 million. I use nearly because it's not exactly 7, it's little. I can say nearly, or I can say, if the number is not exactly or exact, I can use around, nearly, about. It's all right, all of them. Now we come to the third paragraph and the final one. Main trend 2. On the other hand, look, I use here on the other hand because this increase is followed by a decrease. This increase, look with me carefully please, is followed by a decrease. So when I use contrasting information, I use on the other hand or however. That's why they are in different color. The numbers of tourists visiting Bahrain has decreased slightly. Decreased what? Slightly, not dramatically, slightly, or I mean little. Okay, slightly in 2015 to record what? I have to record and mention the figures itself and the numbers. To record what? To record 9.6 million. Then there was a gradual what? Rise to about 10.1. Look, gradual again, gradual here, gradual, okay, a gradual what? Increase or rise to about what? 10.1 million. In which year? In 2016, comma, followed by another what? Another increase to reach what? 11.3 million. In which year? In 2017, and reached the peak. The peak, it's a good one, a good terminology, you know. A peak, it's a good word you have to mention. Peak here, the highest value of the graph or the line graph or the bar chart, the highest bar or the highest value of line graph you have, It's called a peak. Okay, in which year? 2018. To record what? Nearly 12 million. I use also nearly. Why? Because it's not exactly 12. It's a little more than 12. Okay, now full stop. I use again however. You know why? Because what? Who can tell me? Because the values or the numbers of tourists decreased again. After this increase, there is a decrease. So I use however. The figures dropped again to reach around 11 million tourists in 2019. So look here, what do you notice here from the line graph in front of you? You have ups, down, ups, downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. That we can call it fluctuations. Fluctuations means a change in the value from up and down. So these figures show notable fluctuations in the international tourism sector in Bahrain. In this way, I think I have covered, you know, the most features of writing the line graph like this. I hope you all to understand my explanation for this question. Now we can go forward to a task for you. It's an IELTS task. I want all of you to capture the screen and do this task and send it back to me at EduNet to check your answers. Okay, please look at this line chart or line graph carefully and do it. And it's actually from IELTS task 1. It's IELTS exam. So do your best. I'm sure that you will do it perfectly and professionally as well. Okay, now let's go to the final writing task, which is writing a brochure. It's a very easy one. First of all, what's a brochure? A brochure is maybe a leaflet, maybe a blog, online blog, maybe a web page, maybe a sheet of paper, maybe to make something or to attract customers to do something. It's used for promotions in shopping malls. It's used in tourism to attract or to invite some tourists to come to Bahrain or to come to any place, in fact. So this brochure is devised to give a brief summary, a brief information about the country or to some place, right? So look here at this model. Shopping trip in Bahrain. This is for unit 1. As you see in front of you, you start your brochure with a heading question. Heading what? Question. It acts as a hook, as I said before, to attract and to persuade the readers about the content, about the data or the information written in the brochure. So I start my brochure with a question like that. Are you looking for an enjoyable and intriguing shopping experience in Bahrain? It's a general or heading question. Under this question we have 3 sub-heading questions. 3 sub-heading questions. Under each question we have there is a part of or a writing piece or a piece of writing to answer or to respond to the question. I start by why go shopping in Bahrain. I have to mention here under this question how important is Bahrain among Gulf area, among or in the Middle East, due to its unique geographical position in the Gulf area. I can start like that. Bahrain is equally near all the GCC countries, which makes it a perfect place to visit. Bahrain offers a wide range of shopping options at very reasonable prices compared to other countries in the area. These options include modern shopping centers such as Bahrain City Center, Bahrain Mall and Seif Mall in Manama, along with a number of malls in every town in Bahrain. These malls offer all kinds of goods from low cost to high profile ones or high quality ones. Traditional and handmade goods are also available in Bab al-Bahrain, Al-Qasariya, Souk and Souk Waqif. This is where visitors can shop for famous Bahraini sweets and jewelry. Then I come to the second question, where will you go? So I have to highlight or shed light on the most prominent places to visit in Bahrain, especially if you are a tourist and don't know anything about, or you have no idea about the places to visit in Bahrain. The shopping trip starts in Manama. Of course, I start by the most important and famous cities with the capital city, Manama. Then you will go to the old capital city or capital, which is Muharraq. Finally, you will go to Hama town to visit Souk Waqif. Then, I have to mention which audience or which customers or which clients this brochure is addressed to. Maybe newly couples, maybe only youth or young people, maybe only elderly people, maybe women, maybe only men, or maybe no, I don't know. So who is this trip for? The best thing about this trip is that it's suitable for all family members. So the options here is variable for all family members, young and old. The places you will visit offer something for everyone. Finally, you have to write a note. Please contact us before booking if you have any questions. Also, if you are looking for an enjoyable and intriguing shopping trip, then look no further than Bahrain shopping trip. I think it's a very good and easy version or brochures for you to memorize and study well. This is a straightforward writing topic. Okay, study it well as all the remaining topics, and best of luck to you. Now we come to revising vocabulary and grammar. In fact, I have selected, I have chosen some exercises to you. This one, the first one is vocabulary division. Choose the correct answer. This is a familiar kind of questions. You have to select the correct answer. Okay. Number one, to have faith in someone is to trust, convince, deceive, fool them. Try to follow my strategy. I tell you a strategy how to deal with such type of questions. If you have multiple choice MCQ question, any MCQ, maybe matching, multiple choice, true and false, or not given, and so on. Especially this kind of question, multiple choice. Try to first understand the sentence well, then try to omit or cross out two of the choices of the options you have. For number one, I have faith in someone. To have faith in someone is to, of course, fool and deceive, not acceptable. So you have only two remaining, trust and convince. So have faith. So it should be trust. Trust someone means you have faith in someone, so it would be trust. Well done. Number two, the number of people living in an area is tribe, locals, population. A minimal word in a sentence may change the meaning of a sentence totally. For example, when I omit the number and I said the population, or the people living in an area is, so the answer would be locals. But here he says the number of people living in an area is what? Of course, population. Well done. Number three, the power or strength to recover depression and illnesses is. Yes. What's your answer? What would you choose? Well done. Resilience, of course. Resilience, here the mental power inside us to recover and persist illness. Well done. Number four, in many cultures, it's polite to recognize, maintain, avoid eye contact, and look down when speaking to someone. Take care, because such kind of sentences are tricky. You know why? Because he says here, what he says, eye contact and look down. Look down. So eye contact and look down when speaking to what? To someone. So it would be, of course, what? Avoid, not maintain. Not maintain. I avoid eye contact, and what? Look down when speaking to what? To someone. Next, number five, the quality of being worthy of honor or respect is. Fame and reputation are equal to somewhat, are equally. So dignity and determination. What would you choose? Of course, dignity. Well done. The last one, the connotation of the word genius is positive, neutral, or negative. First, what's meant by the connotation? Yes. Okay. It means what you feel, or what comes to your mind when you hear the word genius. What this word expresses. What this word expresses to you. So what I feel, if it's a good or maybe a positive adjective, so it would be positive. It would be, if it's a negative one, it would be negative, of course. And some words are neutral, maybe, but this one, genius, of course, positive. Positive mean genius, meaning very, very clever or intelligent. So let's come to a second type of questions. here are you know, some words up in a box, and you have to fill in the gaps. You have some gapped sentences, and you have to fill in the gaps or spaces with the words in the box. But there is a very important note I want to focus, is what? To put the correct form of the words here when you put them in the sentences. Look, I mean, don't put only don't only put the word in the space and go away and go to the second sentence. No, you have to, after you choose the correct one, you have to look carefully, is it in a correct form or not? Okay, we have here an example of this type. Now, number one, you have to space a lot of traffic when you drive in a big city. So what would you choose? A lot of traffic is a tough experience, as you know, or tough situation. So you have to deal with. Well done. Deal with, okay, is usually used with some issues or some experiences that needs effort. Okay, so number two, technology space over time. For example, people used to use PCs, but now they use laptops and tablets. What would you choose? Yes, well done. Well done. What? Evolve. Well done. But stop. Don't put evolve and go. No. Stop. Look here. You have to adjust. Adjust the verb here to match with the subject. Here technology is what? Singular subject. So the verb followed by singular subject should be added with s or es in only present simple. The verb here, the main or the base form of the verb, should be added with s. I put s at the end of the verb with what? With singular subject. In which tense? In present simple tense. So I put s here, of course, at the end of the verb, which is evolve. Technology evolves over time. For example, people used to use PCs, but now they use laptops and tablets. This is what I mean by correct form. Correct form means I have to change or adjust the verb or the word in general. Here I put in the gap. I have to look for a while if it's okay or not before I leave it and go to the next sentence. Now number three, a program helps space of San Francisco plant trees in their neighborhood. So what would you use now, or what would you choose? Well done. Residents. Residents are the people who are living in some place for a long time. For a long time. Number four, in many cultures, it's polite to space eye contact and not look down when speaking to someone. Look here at this sentence and compare it to the previous one in the multiple choice exercise. Look here. In many cultures, it's polite to space eye contact and not look down. Not look down. So it's, of course, would be maintain eye contact. Eye contact. He said what? Not look down. So if I put here a word like avoid, so you have to focus more on the meaning of the sentence, because, you know, maintain eye contact, and then not look down. The two ideas, I mean, complete each other, go in the same direction, right? So we come to the last one. Under space conditions, many children are not getting an adequate education in some parts of the world. So it would be, of course, existing. Well done. Existing. If you can give me a synonym of it, existing. The synonym of existing is what? Is current. Well done. Current means happening now. Existing means happening now. So now we come to the next exercise for grammar revision. So please pay attention with me. Pay your attention, please, with me to how to deal with such type of grammar questions, especially grammar. You know, grammar require, you know, high focus or concentration from you to choose the correct answer. Look, we start together. Number one, I love painting. Although, because, so, colors make me happy. Look carefully and decide. I have to make a relation between the two parts of the sentence. The part before these two parts, I have to make a relation, which is a cause and which is a reason, a result. Which is a cause or a reason, and which is a result. Okay, so I love painting. Why do you love painting? Because if I ask myself, why do you love painting? Because colors makes me happy. So it's, of course, what? It would be what? Because. Okay? If I exchange it, the two parts of the sentence, if I start by colors make me happy, and the second part would be I love painting. So this is what? A reason. Okay? So colors makes me happy or make me happy. So I love what? Painting. So I love painting here is what? A result. For what? For colors making me happy. Right? So let's come to number two. I learned a little Spanish while I was living in Mexico. Look carefully, please, and decide which linker or word you would choose or select. Look. Yes, well done. It's while, of course. Well done. Look here with me, please. While, before while is past simple, and after while past continuous. Was living, because after while long actions come. After while, the long actions come after a while, because while after a while it takes longer time. So living here is a long action, is a long verb. We have some long verbs and some short verbs. Long verbs coming in progressive tense, past continuous or present continuous, and so on, like live, play, watch, maybe, right? And we have also some short action, like break, like see, like learn, maybe. Okay, like maybe drink, and so on. Now we come to sentence number 3. If you want to defend yourself, you ask around, run into, sign up any martial art club. Martial art club like karate, like kung fu, and so on. All of these are called martial art. MMA also is a martial art. So now, what would you choose? Yes. So when you sign, yes, of course, sign up. Of course, well done. Sign up when you enroll your name for a group, maybe for a course, maybe a club, a school. Sign up to register your name into an organization or a club or activity, in any activity, okay, or any community. So number 4, can I drop you space at your house? It's on my way. Of course, it would be what? Off. Well done. Number 5, the cinema was absolutely, quite, completely hot. Look here, it's a very critical point. As we learned together, we have gradable and non-gradable adjectives. Gradable means what? Gradable comes from itself. Gradable means grades, level. Gradable means grade. Comes from grade. Grade or mark or level. So hot, which kind of adjectives is it? Gradable or non-gradable? Of course, gradable. Well done. You know why? Because such type of adjectives have comparative degree and they have superlative degree. I can say hot, hotter than, and the hottest. I have degrees for this one, right? Hot, it's coming from the temperature. Temperature, it's what? Variable and changeable. So of course I choose quite, not absolutely nor completely, because both of them comes only with what? Non-gradable adjective. So I of course choose quite. Number 6, she talked to the student that, which, where makes documentary films. What would you choose? Yes. Of course, we will neglect where and which, because student here, I can't use it with which. No. So it would be that. Well done. Because it's an object, by the way, not a subject. Now, if it's a subject, I would choose who. So she talked to the student that makes documentary films. Now I think I have covered the most important parts of grammar and vocabulary. Now let's have a look on the structure of the exam. Here is an overview of the Eng101 exam. As you see here, we have 4 parts of the exam, inshallah. Part 1, listening. We have 2 questions. We have 2 questions for listening out of 20 marks. For each question we have 10 marks for each, and total is 20. And the time for this question is 25 minutes. Then we have part 2, reading. Reading, we have 3 different questions based on one text. we have 3 different questions based on one text. Okay, and the time is 30 minutes. For the marks, it's out of 30 marks. Then comes part 3, the use of English. The use of English has 2 parts, vocabulary and grammar or structure, and we had just now 2 models of them. We have 2 questions. For each question is about 10 marks. Total is 20 marks. And the last one, we have only 1 writing task out of 30 marks. 1 writing task out of what? 30 marks. Now, the total mark is what? 100 marks. I hope, finally, best regards for you, and I hope all of you best of luck, and do your best. Be focused, be calm, focus more, do your draft, highlight your main points, okay, and focus. Keep an eye on your watch, keep an eye on the time, because most of the students maybe misled or deceived by the time. It's a common problem. So I would like to advise you, first take care of yourself, okay, and do your best, and good luck to you. Goodbye.